Hello, welcome back to Oikonomia. In this video, we are going to look into the natural monopoly aspect. We know what monopoly is. A monopoly involves a single seller in the economy. So it's actually a kind of market structure where we have only a single seller. It forms an extreme to the market structure. We know that the other extreme forms the perfect competition. So, what is the difference between monopoly in simple terms and natural monopoly? Let's understand this difference in this video. Let's get started. A natural monopoly, it is actually something which would exist as a result of high startup cost of powerful economies of scale of conducting some kind of business, and or we can see that this exists as a result of significant barriers to entry. So there would be competition of different people or different farms, but only a single farm could persist because of high costs involved in um, being in the market. As a result, only one single firm could exist, and then only efficient economies of scale could be reaped. So as a result, a single firm would be existing in the market, which forms a natural monopoly. So this would be arising as a result of procuring raw materials which are very much unique, procuring technology which are very much unique, and also due to high cost of production. So a company with a natural monopoly can be considered to be a single provider of particular product or service, or this would be happening in some kind of geographical locations where you could procure raw materials with high cost. So this kind of monopoly arises as a result of various circumstances, as we have already explained, like high startup cost and significant economies of scale, which could be reaped only as a result of a single firm existing. So a company with a natural monopoly can be a single provider of the product. That is something which we have already expressed. I'm not telling that there are no competitors, but there are competitors, but they could enter the market only after facing huge barriers of entry, and even after entering the market they will be facing high cost of production. They would be facing high cost with respect to procuring raw materials, technology, and also one important factor to note here is that you can reap economies of scale only when you can reap economies of scale efficiently and effectively only when there is a single entity, there is a single firm in the market. So in that sense, the single firm that exists in the economy would be considered as a natural monopoly. So we can see that, for example, a business of electricity transmission where once a grid is set up to deliver electric power to all farms in a community, and if you put the second grid, then that would be very much problematic, as it makes a little sense. And also installing one more grid means a high cost. So as a result, the grid which already existed would continue as a single entity which provides electricity power. A natural monopoly would imply monopoly over time due to market conditions. We have to see that there are competitions, like competitions faced as a result of people who competitions faced as a result of competitors, right? So this could be as a result of collision or mergers or acquisition or whatever, takeovers or whatever it may be, but anyway it would be a single seller that will be providing the service or the product. Collusion involves two or more competitors come together and they will act as a single entity. How does this occur is another question we have to answer. So when a company takes advantage of an industry's high barriers to entry as a result of significant amount of capital needed to deal with fixed capital assets or some physical assets or whatever it may be, in this case other firms or other people would be hesitant to enter the market, and as a result there would be natural monopoly. And secondly, we could see that if you are going for a large scale production, entry of one more firm would means that the firm would get less market power and less profit. As a result, it would be beneficial to continue with the existing single firm. So Uh, these kinds of natural monopoly are not due to large-scale fixed asset or investment, which could be happening as a result of first moreover cost or moreover advantage or increasing returns to centralizing information or decision making or network effects. There can be several other reasons as well. Coming to the types of natural monopolies, as we have already explained with respect to the electricity provider, there can be many real life examples. Since natural monopolies use industries' limited resources effectively as well as efficiently, it has many much advantages to continue with the single entity that provides us the service or the product. The natural monopolies provide water, electricity transmission, sewer services, energy distribution, etc. And the startup costs associated with establishing utility plants and distribution of their product are very much substantial, and it is something which acts as a barrier for other firms to enter. Multiple utility companies wouldn't be feasible since it would be very much considered as problematic for other firms to enter. So the railroad industry, if you take the case of an example, so this is a government sponsored entity, right? So a private individual, if they enter the market, it would be very much problematic, and it would consume a lot of cost. I mean, they would have to they have to incur a lot of cost if they enter into these kinds of areas. We know that now it is a kind of industry. I mean, railroad industry is a kind of industry that has been started to open to the private parties, but there too we could see that only a few or many small numbers are entering this market. And if you take into the case of modern examples like natural monopoly of social media platforms, search engines, online retailing, you can consider the case of Google, Amazon. Amazon has got many rivalries, but when it started, these were considered to be the natural monopolies. Unlike traditional utilities, these types of natural monopolies have virtually unregulated in many countries. So that said, we have seen the real life examples of natural monopolies. Common carriers are typically required to allow open access to many of the services of natural monopolies. That is very much important to understand. So, if you look into the case of US as well, you will be able to understand the initiation of telephone landline companies. Not only in the case of US, in India as well, you could see the same thing. In India, initially it was the BSNL that was a single provider of this telephone connection, but now you can see many other rivalries entering the market, private parties entering the market and offering the same kind of services. But when BSNL started, it was the only entity that was giving the telephone connection. That's it. So we could see that what during certain period of time, in national monopolies will not persist forever. There would be competitors entering the market. People would be they will be or firms will be entering the market after facing a lot of barriers. They will be trying to reap economies of scale. All these kinds of things happen in the market. So in whichever may be the sector, natural monopolies will not persist forever. Over time, they have to face competition from their rival parties. Over time, definitely competition will be coming. That's it. Anyway, I request you to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos. And you can be a part of my Telegram channel and Telegram group to discuss your doubts. I'll be providing the links of these in the description box. Thank you.